Hi guys, and welcome to our channel Only in Australia, where you can find travel, adventure, food and culture that is unique to Australia's shores. Hello, we're here at the Australian War Memorial today, which is one of the most famous museums on Earth. It's ranked in the top 20 museums on the planet, and you'll see later why that is when we go inside. Just here in the gardens, and the kids have had a bit of a play. We stopped here at UA's Australian Servicemen statue, which is a sculpture built to commemorate Australians in all wars. As you can see when we go inside, all the galleries are related to different wars, and this one is to commemorate all wars. So we're going to go in there shortly, and there's interactive exhibits, there's things from World War I and before. So it's going to be a great day. Let's go.
Which way to Berlin? Which way?
That way.
Take me there.
Okay.
Take me to Berlin. Is it Berlin? That's not Berlin. It's Australian War Memorial. We better catch a plane to Berlin.
Hi guys, I'm standing here at the top of Anzac Parade. As you can see, this big avenue here is full of monuments, and we use this for our National Anzac Day ceremony here at the Australian War Memorial. You can see Old Parliament, New Parliament down at the bottom. There are monuments down both sides of this Parade Avenue. This here behind me is the entrance to the War Memorial, and you can see the entrance steps and the galleries begin on the left. It's massive, it goes back a long way, and there's a peace dome there. There are names of people that have died in wars for Australia along all the walls in the peace dome. And we'll have a look at that right at the end. Let's go. Through the front doors. It's a lot cooler, thankfully. It's very hot outside, a bit humid, and we're about to look at some of the exhibits. I think this is from World War One, this gallery. We just had a look at the Peace Dome and seen the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So Sandra is doing laps and taking over the universe, hopefully not before dinner time, but who knows. And we're going to have a look and see Gallipoli Gallery. Let's go. Come on, you two.
Careful. Oh, there we go.
Honey, that's a gas mask. They're the first gas masks from World War. And they're probably filled with asbestos, because that's what they used to use to filter out the gas. And this is from World War One. Yeah, just they were so worried about chemicals. Looks like an old nurse's uniform as well. Oh, look at this old soldier's thing, honey. It's full of holes.
From the bullets?
It looks more like fragmentation, like a grenade. So the boat had bullet holes. This was one of the boats from Gallipoli that they rowed ashore while people were shooting at them.
Why?
Well, they had to get to the land and try and take over the land, but the Turkish army was shooting at them.
Who has to say
at the Australian War Memorial. As you can see, there are different fighters from different countries around the world here. Also bomber planes. Behind, I think here is a Japanese Zero up there, and then here is an Australian aircraft. They've got interactive stations around there. You can pretend you're flying a bomber with a video screen. And here there's a radar station behind me. There are lots of things to see and do here. And you can see engines, and the first jet fighters ever flown in the world are here as well. And I tell you, I would not want to get in one. We'll see one shortly in a minute. Let's go. display. As you can see over here is the Lancaster Bomber, which is G for George. It's a big exhibit here at the War Memorial. And if you come on the hour, the screens behind depict you flying in the bomber and actually taking part in a bombing raid. Yeah, you see just to the side there, there's a Messerschmitt German fighter, and down below there are the first German jet fighters. And you can see here, this is one of the midget submarines that attacked Sydney Harbour. I don't know how to say it in Japanese yet, but don't worry boys, it'll buff right out. I'm sure that hole is fixable. So yeah, so it's a very interesting place. And you can see over there some of the World War I fighters, the biplanes, and we'll head down there in a minute. So let's head down to the ground floor and have a look around. Come on, you guys. Okay, so here's a Japanese light armoured tank. And we're here in this gallery. There's our little blue tank, right there, underneath the rising sun flag. And there's an anti-aircraft gun. And there's G for George, the big Lancaster Bomber. Yes, Eth, that's... Yeah, an Ethan aircraft. Wow. He's not even flapping his wings. There you go, that's the anti-aircraft gun. And this is a great gallery. It does have the video, so it does go every hour, and you can actually see. Yeah, and we'll go around here and see what's here. The Ethan aircraft. Oh, look, we're coming up to the first German jet fighters. So there's G for George from this side. Big wheels. There's another Ethan aircraft. G for George is huge. Look at the fan tail there. And here we go. And this is one of the first German jet fighters. This is the second one. This is a smaller one they made right at the end of the war. And you are an Ethan aircraft. And the wheels actually came off when they took off. And when they landed on the grass. It skidded along and got recovered. And this is their first jet fighter over here. And this one was hindered by Hitler, actually, because he demanded it could bomb London. So the scientists that made it had to make like a second-rate one because he wanted it to carry a lot of weight and fly too far. It did a reasonable job against the propeller planes, but the second one was much better, but it was too late. I mean, the war was over pretty much when this thing was made. And then, interesting design. So the fact that the wheels came off when it took off. Yeah, and this one here was probably a little bit more robust, but they had a lot of pilots die just in fueling accidents. So they weren't very good at fueling, and they exploded.
Aircraft Ethan.
An aircraft Ethan. Excellent. And here we go. This is the back of G for George. Ethan singing Jingle Bells for some reason. And there's a Messerschmitt there. So that's, more traditional German fighter plane. And I better keep up with Eth. Yeah, and this is an anti-aircraft light. So they'd shine these in the sky and try and find the bombers coming over. And they'd have lots of them, and once they found them, they'd range their fire at them at the correct height. And this is one of the midget submarines that attacked Sydney Harbour, and got a bit of a dent there, big hole in it. So it didn't quite go so well. And I'll just have a quick look over here. We've got some naval guns here. This is one of the First World War I tanks. So they're reliably not reliable. So it's not something you want to get stuck out in the middle of nowhere in, because you'd be a sitting duck. And there they are, they're going through some cleared space. Be a bit of a surprise if you've never seen one that suddenly came out onto the open field, but they used to break down all the time. And then through here there are some of the World War I aircraft. So some models here. the real deal is hanging up there, so it's a German one. Lots of things get captured in wars and then end up in museums like this. So. It's another German one. There. And yeah, some of the British ones here. You can see the early anti-aircraft guns here, and the advancements they made by World War II, if you can call any kind of war an advancement. But yeah, interesting times, and yeah, this museum makes me realise how glad I am those times are over. Hi guys, look through the window. Oh my god, Cassie's going to be in control. This is going to be the worst helicopter ride of the universe.
Hello, Captain.
Sir, look. Well done.
Here we go, Ethan. You're flying us somewhere.
Okay, Ethan, let's go.
This is your first helicopter.
He's doing well for his first flight. Look, sir, rice paddies. Cassandra, you gotta help Ethan. You're the co-pilot. This little pilot's really reckless. This little tiny one, really reckless pilot. The other one's pretty good. Okay, come on, sweetheart.
Dad, we're still going. There's only 2 seats.
Egypt, 165.
Can we go back to the
What is this, Daddy?
We're in a submarine with Captain Ethan. He's doing a pretty good job. We're kind of going along. It sounds more like a spaceship than a submarine. Uh-oh, look who's over on the controls now. Oh boy, things are about... Oh, that doesn't sound good. Listen to the engine. Nuclear valve has been turned. Nuclear detonation in 54 seconds. 50 seconds. Nuclear detonation in 20 seconds. Mom, no touching the nuclear reactor. Mom, are you going to touch it? Quick, adjust it. Quick. Cassie, press it. Nuclear detonation in 30 seconds. Cassie, press the button. Nuclear detonation has been terminated. Free Mars bars. There you go.
Hi, Ethan. Where are we?
We're mining.
We're at the mine here.
Yeah.
Are you going to mine some gold?
Yeah, but where's the gold equipment?
Here.
Where is it?
See? This is how they make the cave. There. That's the equipment they use.
How can I get it?
You can't.
Mom.
Wow, look at this one, Ethan.
They're going to pen up again.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they go through those tunnels?
That's the road. See? This is discovery
How do they come out?
for kids.
How could they come out?
Look, they're going this way to the tunnel this way. Can you see? And then they can turn around here.
And they come out.
Yeah. Hello, Cass. Cass? Do you collect aluminium, Cass? Yeah? How much does it cost? $10? Okay.
Guys.
What about you, Ethan? Are you helping your sister?
Yep. This one was so heavy.
They are very heavy, right? Because
Yeah.
they're aluminum. Wow, Ethan,
What?
you're very strong. Now Cassie is going back. Helping sister.
Gallery at the Australian War Memorial. And as you can see here, this is a commemoration to the bombing raids on Darwin, Wyndham and Broome. And the Japanese actually bombed Townsville as well in World War II. They were really launching some attacks from their bases in New Guinea and their aircraft carriers. And what we saw in the Pacific was Japanese aggression, German aggression in Europe, and the world was a big mess. And it wasn't until 1942 when things started to turn the way of the Allies. Things were looking very grim for America, England, Australia, New Zealand, Canada and other countries. And and as you can see if you follow me, Come on, you see. Yeah, there's the Nazi flag. So that was the rise of fascism in Europe, and also with Mussolini in Italy. So, of course, after the war, Italy embarked on a big campaign of how not to be fascist anymore, and that's why they have such good social programs today. And the world people were hiding in little shelters like this from bombs falling from the sky. And through here, and we can see some German vehicles. So let's go through here. So this here is actually an American truck from the American Army. And you can see the slit lamps there, so they paint out the light. So the truck, as it drives along, you can only see a tiny bit of the outside of the road. And what it does though is aeroplanes can't see them very well and they flicker. It's kind of retrospective. Over here you can see a raft with bullet holes in it. And yeah, just amazing things happening. And over here there's some more German vehicles. But if you need help then, can't push it down, so help. Yeah, so this is a German car and a German motorcycle there, and yeah, just some of the things they use. These were mainly used in North Africa and to handle the sand and things like that. Yeah, just an amazing museum this. It's really worth seeing. We haven't shown you the whole thing, there's just not enough time. With two kids getting around a 4 or 5 hour museum, it's just not always logistically possible. But yeah, we've really enjoyed our day. If you are in Canberra, this is a must-see. It's free and it's just got history from everything from the First World War or the Boer War, all the way to Afghanistan and Iraq. So it's really, really good. And there's a little war happening down here, which we might have to... Someone's got to sue for peace in a second. And yeah, so come to the War Memorial, have a look. It's up there with the Smithsonian in Washington, and it's a great place to come. So fully recommend it, 10 out of 10. Okay, so the final thing we want to show you before we leave the War Memorial is this. It's a buzz bomb. So they used to fly them from Germany. It's unpiloted, it's a bomb, and it just lands in London. But the British were very smart, so they get a stencil and look at the wind, and they'd move the stencil across and tell the Germans that it had hit on a certain street, even though it was 5 kilometres away from where it was. So, yeah, they did pretty well with it, and they had the Germans believing they were hitting but missing and putting the wrong amount of fuel in at different times, so it's a good thing. Okay, so this is a LAV vehicle, and Australia has 2,000 of these, which transports about half of our army at any one time. They can swim, they're amphibious, and they also can move around if they only have 2 of their tyres still working, so if they get shot up a little bit, they can still move. They're quite fast, they do go on the highway, and yeah, they're quite an amazing vehicle. This thing here is a Bushmaster vehicle. They've been used in Afghanistan, and they've got some blast-proof ability. And believe it or not, they're air-conditioned, so not like the army I was in, where nothing was air-conditioned. These things, yeah, they've again got big balloon tyres, and they can keep a squad of soldiers comfortable and pretty safe for some time. And this is a Centurion Tank, so it's an old one, but it's a really good display. And yeah, these things are they were very robust in their day, and served for quite a long time. So yeah, interesting equipment here. Thank you guys for watching our video. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe and share to keep us making more videos. Thank you.